So this first episode, we kind of thought that we would explain a little bit about this podcast show and what our vision is for it, what we want it to be about, and how it could help you as a listener or a watcher on YouTube. So Julie is actually the producer of this show. So maybe tell the listeners kind of what you had envisioned for this podcast show.
Yeah, definitely. And it's super weird being in front of the camera instead of behind the scenes. So, yeah, new experiences, but we're really excited. My background is in audio and podcast production. I worked a job for several years helping clients produce podcasts. And one of our most successful shows, it was a kind of a thought leadership podcast where, our host would go on and talk all about what they were the experts on and bring on guests that were also experts. And it really blossomed into something super cool. It created kind of this community for listeners to learn and, kind of connect with each other. But then also I watched the host develop themselves. Like through this show, they were able to connect better with, people that they might potentially work with someday. So I think as we put together this show, we really want to create a community of YouTubers, of content creators, of anyone just looking to tell their story and put it online and have it be successful. Because I think that's the hard part these days when there's so much out there. It's like, how do you help yourself stand out? So that's kind of my vision. I don't know. What do you think, Spencer?
Yeah, and going along with that, also like having YouTubers share their experiences because I feel like
Mm-hmm.
every YouTuber, does things slightly differently, and what may work for one person may not work for someone else. And so kind of sharing ideas on this show will hopefully give you inspiration or ideas for things that you could try on your own YouTube channel that may help you be even more successful. So I completely agree.
Yeah. And as we've talked to, our clients and other YouTubers, people we work with, something I hear over and over and over as we're asking, how did your video do? Why was it so successful? What do you think helped? And everyone says there's no manual for this sort of stuff. Like you have to kind of just
Hmm.
do it and hope for the best. So I'm hoping too that this show can kind of turn into that manual, as manual as you can get with something that is
Right. Yeah.
hard to nail down, because it is so variant on so many different factors. I feel like the algorithm is always changing to reflect content consumption habits, because everyone
Hmm.
consumes content differently. And with the birth of shorts, I feel like that completely changed the landscape of YouTube and all social media. So just kind of watching those algorithms change and how creators can adapt to those changes so that they can still be successful, even if maybe what they did 5 years ago is now not working anymore.
Yeah, definitely. I agree.
I'm super excited. I think this will be super valuable. I'm excited to learn from our listeners and our guests too. Like, I think I know quite a bit about YouTube. I consume a lot of content, as I feel like most people in our generation
So do
does.
I.
Yeah, we're YouTube addicts, which I mean, I guess that means we're in the right field. But
Yeah.
getting to learn more behind the scenes, because you can only produce so much YouTube content yourself. And, we have our channel and Spencer has a side channel that maybe he'll talk a little bit about. But, and then we have our clients, but that pool is only so wide, it's like 10, 15 people at this point that we can be like, hey, how do you YouTube? And they can tell us how they YouTube. But hopefully through this show, we'll get, hundreds and hundreds of people sharing their experiences. And I'm excited to learn a lot more from, just doing this show.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. I think that is what intrigues me most about doing this show is all of the things that I
Hmm.
will be able to learn and to grow and maybe apply ourselves
Yeah.
for this show that we're creating.
Yeah, I think a good example for that too is we actually already recorded the episode after this, so stay tuned for that. But as we were putting together this show and kind of setting up the foundation and the infrastructure on where to live online. I know we applied some tips from that next episode to our channels and to how we're structured, and some things that I didn't even know, even just doing the very first episode with a guest.
Thanks for watching that clip. If you're interested in checking out the full episode or being a guest on the show, make sure to click the link down in the description.